then the Cauchy integral formula, I'll just quickly write it down. So we're going to take two problems here today and then going to check how we are going to use them. Okay, so one is Cauchy integral formula. Okay, and there we actually say that we have got a function. Okay, this would be equal to 0. Okay, and then there is the theorem, Cauchy integral theorem. And in Cauchy integral theorem, we said that if there is any point A within this curve region in which you are actually finding out the integration value, this function A would be actually nothing but 1 divided by 2 pi I integration of fz divided by z minus a dz. We're going to look into the proof of this later. But then for now, let's just have a look at how we're going to use it. Okay, so the thing is that suppose you are given an integration where it is fz divided by z minus a into dz, you can directly write down the function fa and multiply it with 2 pi I, and you'll get your answer. Okay? That's how we actually do it. Apart from that, I did tell you that we can actually differentiate it and how to find out the center and radius, okay, and so on in the last class. So we're going to just use it later. But right now, let's just take an example and I will actually solve it. Okay. So just take one example here. So it is, let's say, z square minus 6 divided by 3z minus I dz. So that might be a problem. Okay. And then usually it's, this will definitely be given that within what range you are supposed to find it out. Okay, and whatever is the value of a that we can actually consider should lie within the limit. That's very important. Okay, so we have to check whether this a, if we're going to use the Cauchy integral theorem, okay, lies within or outside. Okay, so for this, what we can do is, maybe I can just I'll just take it as a note. Okay, right now. Or then you can do it later whenever you solve this problem. But the thing is to check, what we are going to do here is to check if a is inside or outside the integral. So there is a limit to it, we have to check inside or outside. And in order to do that, we can just say that z minus a is equal to 0. Okay, in this particular case, if you look at the denominator, it is 3z minus I, which is equal to 0. Okay, or z is equal to I divided by 3. So if we just take modulus of z in this case, this would be nothing but 1 divided by 3. And z lies, between -1 and +1, and 1 divided by 3 is between that value, right? So we can actually say that z lies inside, right? Because z modulus of z is equal to 1. That's the range which is given. So this is the first thing that you have to check. If it lies outside, it will straight away be 0. Okay. We don't have any value for the integral. So outside it will be 0, inside you have to just look into the denominator, you have to look what is the form, and then you have to equate it with 0 and check the value of z, take the modulus, if it's written modulus here, and then see it lies inside or outside. Okay, so in that way we can actually do it. So anyway, we'll just do the sum, and then I think as we do more examples it will be more clear to you. So let's say let z, okay, is equal to z cubed minus 6. Okay, this is z cubed, not z squared. So see this is fz divided by z minus a. Fz I have taken to be z cubed minus 6. Okay, so please remember this is again there. Okay, we'll do it. And a, you can take it to be I by 3, and then you just have it 3 here, and then z minus I by 3. So it will remain as the same form as z minus a, and a will be I by 3, right, in this case. So what does it imply? That we can actually write it down in this form. Okay, 1 by 3, and take it to be 1 by 3, and then I can take it to be z cubed minus 6 is there. Okay. And 1 by 3 because I have taken 3 out from here. If I take 3 out from here, it will be 1 by 3 outside and it will be z minus I by 3, right, as I said. So I'll take it into that form, z minus I by 3. Right, and now you know the answer. Okay, it's very simple now. And of course dz is there. So that means it will be 1 by 3, and you can just compare this with this. So if you look here, that means integration of fz divided by z minus a into dz is equal to 2 pi I f of a, right? So that means this entire term can be written as 2 pi I f of a. This is my a is I by 3 in this case, right? This is my a. So f of I divided by 3. Okay. So let's say you are not using Cauchy integral formula, you are going to solve it, you are going to get the same answer, okay? Different techniques, methods you can use and you are going to get the same answer. But here we are looking into the application of Cauchy integral formula, so that's why we are doing it. So you can just write it down as 2 pi I divided by 3, and this is f of I by 3, and what is our f? F of z is z cubed minus 6, so f of I by 3 will be I by 3 cubed minus 6, right? So we will simply write it down as I by 3 cubed minus 6. Okay. So if you just do it, okay, this will be 2 pi I divided by 3, anyway let me just do it, okay. I cubed is minus I divided by 3 cubed is 27 minus 6. Okay. Want to simplify it further, you can do it, even if you don't do it, it's fine. Just take that minus sign out. 2 pi I divided by 3, and then I can write it down as I divided by 27 plus 6. So if you don't use Cauchy integral theorem, you have to do a longer integration and probably you are going to get a same answer. Okay, so that's your answer. So that's how you actually use the Cauchy integral theorem. You have to look into the problem and see if the Cauchy integral theorem is applicable or not. Okay, so that's that. Let's take one more sum, okay, which will be relatively longer. Okay, let's just take one more sum here. Let's just solve it. Okay. Today I'm not going to ask you to solve anything, I'll just solve it for you, okay? Let's check. So cos of 2 pi z divided by 2z minus 1 and then z minus 3 dz. And here also it's the same, modulus of z will be equal to 1. The problem here is that I don't really know how to realize a, and there are two functions at the bottom which are multiplied, so I can use partial fraction method and separate them out and then use Cauchy integral formula to each of them. Okay, that's what we're going to do, but fz is fine for us, so I can just take fz is equal to cos of 2 pi z. Okay. The next thing is we have to separate out the denominator. Okay, so you can use partial differentiation, and there will be different methods to use it. Okay, you can use a different technique altogether to find out this. So you know how it is done. Partial fractions. So it is a divided by 2z minus 1, and then plus b divided by z minus 3, right? So that's partial fraction, and basically you have to just find out what is your a and b. Okay, so there is a different ways of finding out a and b, right? So let me just use a method which I usually check and do it by partial fraction. Okay. So what you can do is, suppose you want to find out the value of a, what should be the value of a, then what you do is you just ignore this 2z minus 1 and just consider z minus 3. Okay, So first you take up 2z plus 1, 2z minus 1, equate it with 0, okay, and then you take z, it will be half, right, from here. And then what you do is ignore this 2z minus 1 and just take z minus 3 and replace it with half. Replace the value of z with half, and then you should get your answer, okay. So I'm just telling you, if this you can do it in bracket, okay, even if you don't show it during exam time, if it's given the 12 question, it's fine. 1 divided by z minus 3, okay. Just ignore this 2z minus 1, and then you can replace this z by half. Where we got the half, we took whatever is at the bottom, 2z minus 1, and equated it with 0 and found my z. Yeah.
So the answer is 2 pi I by 5.
Okay, maybe. Let's just solve it, okay, and then let's see. So this would be equal to, if you just take the LCM and everything, 6, 1 minus 6 is minus 5, so you just take it to be minus of 2.5. So this way you can actually find out A and B, okay, so this is your A, and in a similar way you can actually find out B also, okay. So I'm just solving it for everyone this today, okay? I'm not asking anyone to do anything today. Similarly, z minus 3 is equal to 0, so z is equal to 3, right? So therefore, if you want to find out B, this will be 1 divided by 2z minus 1, which is equal to 1 divided by 2 into 3, 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So this way, you can actually find out what is A and what is B. And if you use this, okay, there are methods to find out the values of A and B using partial fraction. So this will be 2z minus 1 plus 1 by 5 divided by z minus 3, right? So these are my terms that I actually have, okay, and then I can actually find out what is my integral. So it's simple now. I can use Cauchy integral theorem separately. Okay. So if I use my Cauchy integral theorem, okay, the integral value, maybe I can just write down. Therefore, I with integration is equal to the first function would be replacing this. Okay, first function would be minus of 2 by 5 integration. Okay, fz is on top always divided by z 2z minus 1. Okay. So 2z minus 1. So you're getting the form where you can actually use the Cauchy integral formula. So this is 1 divided by 5. Okay, this is fz. This is z minus 3 dz. So let's just use the formula directly, I guess. You can directly write it down as minus of 1 by 5. 2 you can take out common, 2 gets cancelled, and then you'll get it in the form which you need. This will be fz divided by z minus half. 2 you have taken out common, okay? That 2 gets cancelled with this 2. dz plus the same 1 by 5 fz divided by z minus 3. See, you can do it directly also, but the thing is, Cauchy integral formula helps you to find it out in easier way, okay? So you see, there are two terms now. One is having the value of A is half, one is having the value of A is 3. Just consider this, don't consider this coefficient, that's fine. Okay, this one is 3 and one is half. So it's written z is equal to 1. So that means the value of x and y you can actually determine. And if you consider this would be a 1 0 point, right? This would be 0 1, right? And this will be our origin 0 0. So that means whatever is the value of the integral will lie between these, okay, up to 1. Maximum value is 1. But here, if you just take up this z minus 3 and equate it with 0, you get the value of z is equal to 3. Oh, sorry, 3. 3, right? So 3 actually lies outside the circle. So that value will straight away become 0. And we don't need to consider that. That's the beauty of using Cauchy integral formula, okay? Lies outside the circle because the limit is given. Lies outside the circle. So please remember this point. Whenever you're doing it in exams, don't straight away put 0, give some argument why it is 0 and then only you do it, okay? So that means that this term will actually become 0, right? It's not there inside it. So that means it becomes simpler, 1 minus divided by 5, okay? And you know, take this would be similar to the other one, okay? 2 pi I, okay? So you can take 2 pi I into f of a. What is my a? Half. So I'll just put half. And that's the entire reason of defining fz. So once you know the function fz, then straight away do it, right? So we do it here, 1 divided by 5 minus, this is 2 pi I. F of z means cos of 2 pi z, right? So cos of 2 pi, my z is half, so I'll just take half. So this becomes, cancels out, so cos pi is 1, minus 1, sorry. So we'll just take it to minus of 2 pi I by 5 into minus 1. So whatever you said is correct, right? So it is 2 pi I divided by 5. That's my answer. 2 pi I divided by 5. Okay. So when you do it in exam, and if it's a question which is given, maybe 2 marks, 3 marks, whatever, you have to just do it in detail. Okay, your steps should be clear. Don't just jump, because I told you before. So when you're giving a normal conventional exam, don't write it like a quiz. Okay, you have to write it in detail. You have to write down the steps from where you got everything else. Okay, you can include this idea of partial fraction, and even if you write down this directly, I think it's still fine. Okay.